The sun went down, the sky turned orange and purple. It was beautiful. The village was quiet. Children played in the dirt. They laughed and ran. Soon it would be time for stories. Itohan sat under a baobab tree. She was very old. Her skin was like leather, weathered by the many years she had lived. But her eyes were bright, sparkling with the wisdom of countless stories. Itohan was wise, a keeper of ancient tales and traditions. She knew many stories, passed down through generations, each one a thread in the rich tapestry of her people's history. The children loved to hear them, gathering around her in a circle, their eyes wide with anticipation. They sat around her eager to listen, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of the setting sun. Itohan's voice, though aged, carried the strength of her spirit. She began her stories with a gentle hum, a melody that seemed to resonate with the very earth beneath them. Long ago, she would start, her voice weaving a spell that transported her listeners to distant lands and times. Her stories were not just entertainment, they were lessons, filled with the wisdom of the ancestors. Each tale had a moral, a nugget of truth that the children would carry with them, long after the story had ended. The baobab tree under which Itohan sat was ancient, its gnarled branches reaching out like the arms of an old friend. It had witnessed countless stories and had been a silent companion to many storytellers before Itohan. The tree and the storyteller seemed to share a bond, a connection that transcended time. As the wind rustled through its leaves, it seemed to whisper secrets of the past, adding to the magic of Itohan's tales. The children, with their innocent faces and curious minds, were the perfect audience. They would sit, spellbound, as Itohan spoke of brave warriors, cunning tricksters, and wise elders. They learned about the importance of courage, honesty, and respect. Through her stories, Itohan taught them about their heritage, instilling in them a sense of pride and identity. As the dusk turned to night, the first stars appeared in the sky, twinkling like the eyes of the ancestors watching over them. Itohan's stories would come to an end, but the magic lingered in the air. The children would leave, their hearts full, their minds buzzing with the tales they had heard. They would dream of the characters and adventures and eagerly await the next evening when they could gather around Itohan once more. Itohan, the storyteller, was more than just a keeper of tales. She was a bridge between the past and the present, a guardian of culture and tradition. Her stories were a gift, a treasure that she shared with the children, ensuring that the wisdom of the ancestors would live on in their hearts and minds. Tonight, Itohan said, "I will tell you a story of courage." The children leaned closer. There was once a shepherd boy named David. He was small, but he was brave. Itohan's voice was soft, but strong. One day, a giant came to David's land. His name was Goliath. He was big and scary. Goliath had a sword and armor. David only had a slingshot and stones. The children held their breath. Everyone was afraid of Goliath, but David wasn't. He knew God was with him. David took his slingshot, he put a stone in it, he aimed at the giant. Goliath laughed at David. He thought David was weak. But David was strong in his faith. David let go of the stone, it flew through the air, it hit Goliath right in the head. The giant fell to the ground. He was defeated. Itohan smiled. The children cheered. They loved the story. They jumped up and down. Section 8, Lessons from the Past. Itohan raised her hand. The children became quiet. David was small, she said, but he was brave. He had faith in God, and because of that, he won. Itohan looked at each child. Section 9, Eyes wide with wonder. The children listened carefully. They understood Itohan's message. Courage was important. Faith was important. They looked at Itohan with respect. She was old, but she was wise. Section 10, Wisdom for Life. The stars came out, twinkling like tiny diamonds scattered across the vast, dark canvas of the night sky. The air was cool, carrying with it the gentle whispers of the evening breeze. It was a serene moment, one that signaled the end of the day and the beginning of a peaceful night. The children who had been gathered around the old storyteller knew it was time to go home. They had spent the evening listening to Itohan, the wise elder of the village, who had shared with them a tale that was both enchanting and full of life lessons. Itohan's stories were not just mere entertainment, they were a source of wisdom, passed down through generations. Tonight's story was about bravery, a virtue that the children would carry with them throughout their lives. As they sat around the flickering fire, Itohan's voice had painted vivid pictures in their minds. They could see the hero of the story, a young warrior who faced great challenges with courage and determination. The children were captivated, their eyes wide with wonder and admiration. As the story came to an end, the children felt a sense of gratitude. They thanked Itohan for the story, their voices filled with sincerity and respect. They knew that the lessons they had learned tonight were invaluable. They would never forget the story, nor the wisdom it imparted. The tale of bravery would stay with them, a guiding light in times of darkness and uncertainty. The children slowly made their way back to their homes, their hearts filled with a newfound sense of courage. They walked under the starry sky, the cool air brushing against their faces. The village was quiet, with only the sounds of the night accompanying them. As they reached their homes, they looked back at the place where they had gathered, a place that now held a special significance in their hearts. Itohan watched them go, a gentle smile on her face. She knew that the seeds of wisdom she had planted tonight would grow and flourish in the hearts of the young ones. She believed in the power of stories, in their ability to teach and inspire. And as the stars continued to shine above, she felt a deep sense of fulfillment. The night was peaceful and the village was at rest, but the lessons of bravery and wisdom would live on, lighting the way for future generations. Section 11. A message of hope. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Deuteronomy 31, verse 6. In the heart of an African village, as the sun dips below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the fields, there is a sense of tranquility and unity. Villagers walk through the fields, their silhouettes blending with the warm colors of the sunset. Children play joyfully in the village square, their laughter echoing through the air, a testament to the resilience and hope that thrives in this community. This scene, bathed in the soft light of dusk, is a powerful reminder of the message of hope that we find in Deuteronomy 31 verse 6. It tells us to be strong and courageous, to not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord our God goes with us. He will never leave us nor forsake us. This message is not just a verse from an ancient text. It is a living, breathing promise that resonates deeply within us, especially in times of uncertainty and fear. As we watch the villagers move through their daily routines, we see the embodiment of this divine promise. Their strength and courage are evident in their every action, from tending to the fields to caring for their families. They face challenges with a steadfast spirit, knowing that they are not alone. The presence of the Lord is felt in every corner of the village, providing comfort and assurance. The children, with their boundless energy and infectious laughter, symbolize the future and the hope that it holds. They remind us that despite the hardships we may face, there is always a reason to smile, to find joy in the simple moments, and to believe in a brighter tomorrow. Their playfulness is a beacon of light, guiding us through the darkest times. In this village, the message of hope is not just spoken, it is lived. It is seen in the way the villagers support one another, in their unwavering faith, and in their determination to build a better future for themselves and their children. This message transcends borders and cultures, reminding us all that no matter where we are or what we are going through, we are never alone. The Lord our God is with us, guiding us, protecting us, and giving us the strength to face each new day with courage and hope. So as we reflect on this scene and the words of Deuteronomy, let us carry this message of hope in our hearts. Let it inspire us to be strong and courageous, to support one another, and to trust in the promise that we are never forsaken. In the quiet moments of dusk, as the day comes to a close, let us find peace in the knowledge that we are loved, we are protected, and we are never alone. Story by Itohan. Like, share, and follow.